Shay Renee. So let's just get into it, shall we? What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about the reunion part 1 and 2 because I didn't do number 1, y'all. But voiced before we get into that, y'all, your girl is 40 years old. I just cannot believe it. I cannot believe it, y'all. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all. First of all, I'm sorry I'm late. As you can see, I still have on my instructor shirt from my step class. They don't want to leave, y'all. They don't ever want to leave, but that's okay. But y'all, my party was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I had an instructor come here from Texas, my favorite. It was so black ass. It was so amazing. I had such a good time. I had a step party. Look, I even got my nails. Hold on, let me put in the camera. One of them has a 40 on it. Yeah, there we go. This look like a party on my nails. And I tried a new nail lady, y'all. I was shocked. I mean, I was scared because my nail lady, she was all booked up and I had to cancel my appointment because I had an emergency at work. But y'all, so much fun. We had the step party first. We did line dancing. Then I went to have crabs yesterday, my favorite thing to do. We went and ate crabs at this place called the Jetty, right across the Bay Bridge, going into Delaware. Amazing, great company. My family and friends showed up and showed out for me. So I am grateful. I am so grateful. So grateful, y'all. So grateful. Yeah. And then today, in my step class, K-Dior says, happy belated birthday. Such a blessing nowadays to make it to 40. Yes, it is. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I've had some friends, some people that I went to high school with that didn't make it. So I am truly blessed, y'all. I had such a great time. I will, in my members only, I plan on showing y'all pictures of the party, some videos, stuff like that. So y'all can feel like y'all were there with me kind of thing. So yeah, we're going to reminisce over all the things Shay Renee's birthday. So we at the 3-4 minute mark. We're going to wait till we're at about 5 minutes to get started, y'all. This is the drink. My husband made like a specialty drink for my birthday. My favorite color is blue. This look a little green, but I let him slide. I asked him to make me a blue drink. We had so much food at this party too. It was a taco bar. We had my friend is Nigerian. She makes the rice, Yolof rice. Oh my God, delicious. The best rice I have had in my life. Another friend of mine is Haitian. She made sweet potatoes. What else did we have? A friend of mine made a pound cake from scratch, the most moist pound cake I ever had in my life. The food was just by far we had jerk chicken. What else did we have? Macaroni and cheese. Now, one thing about Black people, we don't never bring no damn greens. I don't know why we ain't had no greens. But that's that. But y'all, we had fun. But get on them members only, and we'll talk about that tomorrow night. I'll set a live for members only. We got to catch up on some lives too, y'all, because I've been so busy trying to get caught up, do all this stuff for my birthday. I haven't been doing my videos. So we got Divorced Sisters that we'll be doing soon. We're doing Real Housewives of Atlanta tonight to catch up. Then we got to do our behind Beyond the Gates video and Sisters, okay? Because Sisters came back last week. So be prepared. Some of them probably gonna be pre-recorded so I can catch up with y'all. But nevertheless, I will get the videos out to y'all for sure. So let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are past 5 minutes. I'm gonna just say this to y'all. This reunion, number one, we don't need four. We don't need three parts to this. We really don't. The season itself was very lackluster. We learned nothing new. Listen, I know there's a lot of Portia stands that watch me, but basically, in a nutshell, reunion part one was about Portia deflecting and not admitting that she was using Drew the whole time as a storyline because she couldn't talk about her marriage. That was it. Braun Sugar says, "Happy birthday, 40 is the new 30." Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, girl. That's what I keep telling myself. Okay. Could have realistically been one part at 90 minutes. Exactly, K Dash Dior. Absolutely. That's exactly what it could have been. Because the like I said, the whole season was dry. The entire season was dry. We have the whole situation with Drew and Shamia. Now, Shamia, it is very embarrassing that you keep on constantly attacking Drew and her career. Drew has had so much more of us, and not to be comparing anybody, but her career has been way more successful than yours. Are you jealous? And why are you on Drew about it? There's so many people in the world that have had better careers than you. Is it because Drew is in closer proximity for you to hate on her? It's okay to give another woman accolades. It's okay to congratulate another woman. I don't know why Shamia keeps on trying to downplay all of Drew's accomplishments. Like, you did sit on the radio and talk trash about her. You did. You talked about how she, her songs, this, and she been singing and she been doing this and doing that. Okay, yeah, you've been doing it, but Drew has been doing it better. It is what it is. Shamia, you truly showed your colors in this reunion on one and two. I believe that Shamia did lie. I believe that the problem with Shamia is Shamia doesn't want to be honest with Portia. And the fact to me is, if you can't be honest with Portia and you're afraid to lose your friend, because if you are honest with Portia about how you feel, you're mad that she didn't come to your wedding. You're upset that Portia didn't defend you when Phaedra said that you was kissing up and sleeping with Todd and Candy. You're mad that Portia didn't defend you several times when people have said things about you and sleeping with Candy around her. You're mad about that. Be honest and just say that. Stop saying, "Oh, we talked about it and we fixed it." No, because you sat right there and got upset because you felt like whenever people came to Portia talking about you, that you wanted her to defend you. That's what you wanted her to do. Or you wanted her to come back and tell you on camera the way that you felt like you was running back as a lapdog, like Drew said you was, to tell her. Don't expect you from other people. That's where you're wrong. And the reality is, Shamia, if you being honest with Portia is going to mess up y'all relationship, then y'all ain't friends in the first place. Period. Y'all are not friends. If I can't tell my friends the truth, if I can't be honest with my friends and tell them how I feel when you pissing me the fuck off or you doing something and being a shitty friend and I can't correct you, we're not friends and I don't want to be your friend anymore. Period. What do you need from Portia anyway? You seem to have all the glitz and the glam. You got the house, you got the man, you got the children. What do you need from Portia? It's giving you need attention. And being on this show gives you that. You want to feel like a star. That's why you hating on Drew so much, because she is a star. She is talented, and you're mad because you feel like you should be where Drew is and further than her, because you feel like you're more talented than you are. and you're jealous. Period. That's what it all is. K Dior says Shamia carrying a beef with Drew only for Portia to apologize to Drew. I know she was mad. Yeah, and actually that really was that really an apology what Portia did? Because Portia got up, she said, "You know what? Let me give you a hug. Let me give you a hug." I don't want your raggedy ass hug, Portia. Say I'm sorry. She ended up saying, "I'm sorry for going to dinner with Ralph." That's what she said she was sorry for. But she didn't say she was sorry for lying on Drew the whole season, acting like Drew slept with was trying to sleep with her baby daddy, and she wasn't. Knowing good and daggone well, Drew was not trying to sleep with Dennis. And that text message where Dennis, when she was saying, he was saying something about paying for the studio time or something. It wasn't like oh, I'm gonna sleep with you, or I gotta sleep with you, we gotta settle up or whatever to square this up or whatever. It wasn't oh, I gotta get some, I'm trying to give it up to pay for the studio session. It wasn't like that at all. I can't remember the exact words, but if somebody can write it in the chat, I can basically dictate it the way that it was meant. But the apology was just very fake. You apologized for, you finally were honest about the fact that you were being vindictive by going to dinner with Ralph. And furthermore, why is Ralph at the reunion? If I'm Drew, why do I need you to be here to represent me? I don't need that. But I digress. Erica Fielder says Shamia went out sad. Portia and Drew made up, and you still hating on Drew. Exactly. Like, Shamia, you're doing the absolute cruddiest, the most, the absolute most. Mind you, and why was all of y'all bitches late for the damn reunion? How you gonna be 3 hours late? Portia was in there taking a damn nap. Drew, was taking all that time to do God knows what, and they try to make it seem like Drew was the one that was making everybody late. She wasn't. She came in like 5 minutes after the rest of the chicks. All of them was 3 hours damn late. That's disrespectful as fuck. And for y'all to come out there looking, well, Shamia and Portia look good. Portia didn't look on theme. I don't know what this Iron Man top was, but it was cute. But everybody else were average at best. But I digress. Erica Fielder says, right, K-Dior, how embarrassing. Yeah, you did all of that. All of that. K-Dior says Shamia caught lying on several occasions at this reunion. Like, girl, tighten up. Yeah, like Shamia. It's just be honest. You don't like some things that Portia has done. You feel like being on this show was your way to air Portia out. She's supposed to be your best friend, but you still mad about the things that Portia has done. You're mad. Be honest. I don't get it. Kristen83 says, hey everyone. Hey Kristen, how you bees? Thank you so much for joining. K-Dior says the apology was fake, of course, to once again dodge accountability. Exactly. Ralph is there because Andy loves giving horrible men a platform. Right, child. And Ralph's sassy ass might let Andy take him in the back and get bent over. Who knows, child. Bronze Sugar, in my opinion. Bronze Sugar says Ralph is a sassy bitch ass nigga. That's exactly what he is, okay? Absolutely. He would not be getting any screen time on this show. Bronze Sugar is laughing. There's no way I would give him any screen time. So then we get to Kelly. Kelly, there's no other way to put this, but you're a flip-flopper. You are going to sell yourself to the highest bidder. That's just what it is. And that's all I got to say about Kelly. Kelly, you're not a friend. Right now, you and Shamia are cool because you feel like Shamia is, in the forefront. You was over there sniffing up Britt's ass because you thought that both of y'all was, y'all were new and the new fresh hot thing. You were sitting there 10 toes down for Britt and her bullshit until it came to your glam squad. Now, here's the thing with the glam squad. I may have a differing opinion than everybody else. I think that was totally blown out of proportion. You told your glam squad to help old girl. So if your glam squad is helping her, of course, if she likes their services, she's going to use them again and again and again. So why even offer your glam squad up to her just for her to see what it's like to have a glam squad? I don't see why it was a problem for her to work with them. Now, if you want to be mad at somebody, I would be mad at the glam squad because it seemed like they were starting to dress y'all alike. And that said, that really gives a shortcoming to the glam squad because you must not be so talented. You over there styling them like they escape on tour. This ain't no singing group. Style Brit the way that she likes to be styled, or things that are unique to her, and style me the way I need to be styled. And that's all she had to say was, I didn't like the fact that they were dressing us alike. That's not Brit's fault that they were dressing y'all alike, but she liked the clothes that they were giving, recommending for her. And apparently she was paying them. They didn't complain about her paying. Also, Kelly, you did a whole lot of spending money on things that didn't make any sense. You trying to keep up with the Joneses. Even Andy was like, you spent a lot of money on stuff for your dog and you doing all these parties for your daughters and buying her all these bags and stuff, but you owed money to the lawyers and you still haven't opened your restaurant, but you out here buying shit trying to keep up with these ladies. You don't have to do that. Look at Cynthia. That dress probably came from TJ Maxx. And that wig definitely came from Temu. So she saved her money to come on the show. I don't know if that really came from there, y'all. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, you don't have to do all of that. Pay your bills, sis. Pay your bills. You don't need to be up here trying to keep up with these women. And if you can't keep up with them, then you just can't keep up. It is what it is. So moving on, let's get over to what's this girl name? Child, I'm drawing a damn blank. Why am I drawing a blank on this lady's name? Anyway, Charles Oakley's wife, Angela. So we get to Angela, and Angela is talking about how, you know, Charles really does love her, and they talk about him not saying he doesn't profess his love to her, and this, that, and the third. I don't know why we are so worried about how Charles shows his affection to Angela and why Charles is so mean to Angela. If Angela likes it, I love it. I don't give a damn how this man, if she likes the way he talks to her, then I love it. It is what it is. I don't give a damn. Like, her and Charles have an awkward relationship. I feel like Charles, plays it up for the cameras. My girl D is in the building. What's up, D? D says, "Hey Shay, what's up? What's up, D? How you bees?" But I think that Charles just he's not in the limelight in this situation. He's used to being the NBA star player in the limelight. Angela is the one that's the center of attention for this, and he's a supporting act. So I don't know. She like it. I love it. Sorry, y'all. My throat is really dry. Um, Angela, you don't have to prove to these people what your husband is or ain't to you. If you still there, obviously you love what he doing. Okay. We are worried because Angela is trying to blame people on the cast for trying to destroy an already damaged marriage. Angela is Letitia Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's what it is. Your marriage is tumultuous and full of shit, or whatever the case may be, or you're not getting the affection that you ultimately want from your husband. So instead of taking it to the source, you want to blame everybody else around you. That's what it is. You don't want to accept or face your husband head on for how he makes you feel. So you want to blame everybody else around you. She is Letitia Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville. So they are twins. Hello, Angela and Tisha. How you bees? Because that's y'all are one and the same. And I'm also going to be newsflash. I told y'all I will still be reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville. Um, I will. I know some of y'all ain't really checking for the show, but I'm still going to review it because I'm heavily in that algorithm. So I might as well, keep on watching the show. I did watch the show, y'all. A lot of people were saying that the intro was really nice. It looked really elementary to me. It looked like some that we'll talk about that when we get to that. But yeah. Bronze Sugar says, Child, Charles act like Angie get on his nerves. He do. He really acts very annoyed by her. He seems very annoyed by her. Brown Sugar is like bingo, bullseye. D Herfer says she's 100% Tisha. Absolutely. And I knew D was going to say this, not checking for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Good luck. I knew you wasn't. I knew you wasn't, girl. But that's okay. That is quite all right. There are so many other things that we can look at together. But yeah, that was basically then there was a statement made by Kelly where she said your marriage was for 11 months, mine was for 11 years. I didn't really see where that was a dig. I feel like, I mean, that's just muddled in truth. Portia was married to Simon. Portia did this whole scene about how she's so sad, but she still loves Simon. And, it's unfortunate that everything went the way it did. Basically, she had to divorce him because he basically lied about his finances. And there was things that she was getting caught up in financially that she didn't want to be held accountable for, basically reading between the lines. So she must have put her name on some stuff that's put her in jeopardy. And so she want to get out because she not trying to be caught up in his bullshit. That's what I got from that. So with Kelly, saying 11 months versus 11 years, of course, your marriage is going to seem much more tumultuous. But Portia got more out of her 11-month stint than you did in your 11 years, it seems. Let's just keep it a buck with that. It is what it is. Getting divorced altogether is a sad thing. Nobody wakes up and says, "Oh, you know what? I'm just getting married and I'm just going to get divorced. I want to be divorced." Nobody gets married to get divorced, okay? It just is what it is. So y'all marriage ended. It didn't end well. Your husband is violent, apparently, Kelly, and things didn't work out for you. So sad for you. It is what it is. But Portia, there's no need to compare the situations. I don't know if that was what y'all were doing, but it is what it is. Then they go into Simon, whether or not Shamia introduced Simon to Portia. Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. The marriage did not work out. It's over. Okay? It is over. Who cares if she introduced them or not? She ended up marrying him. She made the choice to marry him. She made the choice to get in deep with this man. So at the end of the day, who gives a shit if Shamia introduced them? Now, apparently Simon was cool with Shamia's husband. I don't know if they were friends and that's how they ended up getting to know each other or whatever. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Portia, you were on this show with Fallon and you knew that Fallon was married to Simon. So you jumping in his DMs and checking on him and this, that, and the third, that's on you. And the way that Portia hesitated when Andy asked her if she was hooked up with Simon by Shamia, that was a clear answer. It was yes, but she waited and paused on purpose. Portia don't fuck with she don't fuck with Shamia. She don't. Shamia is not cowering down to her anymore, and she don't like that Shamia is not being truthful with her, and she also doesn't like that Shamia is not sticking with the program. Bronze Sugar says, I'm not watching. I took it off my DVR, but I will support the reviews because I'm slightly nosy. I know that's right, Bronze Sugar. Listen, I get it. And if not, I totally get that position as well. Some people are just really like, you know what? A lot of the politics around the show has really turned them off. And I get that too because I'm not really interested. I'm not really excited about how things have happened, but I do find it interesting that now that a certain cast member is gone, you can say Ariane Curry's name on the show now. You're showing pictures of her, but then on the flip side, I'm like, that Martell is still on the show and that's his life apparently. So if you're gonna show his life and it's reality TV, then go ahead and show it. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in the sense of the mistress being, I guess, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's really her winning by her getting on the show, but put her on the show, put her on a skillet because you want to be on here so bad, you're not going to get the positive reviews that you think you're going to get. Nobody's really checking for you. So really you're putting yourself up for scrutiny in a negative light. So it's like she thinks that she's the show. Let her be on there. Child, I don't know. Montrez Jones says, hey Shay, hey y'all. What's up, Montrez? How you bees? Thank you for joining. My Cancer sister says, hey, my beautiful friend in chat. Hey, Brittany Janae. Thank you so much for joining, sis. K-Dior says, Simon says, right. Drew says, Simon says you had no storyline. Okay. I don't know how many times Drew practiced that, but it was funny and it fit right in where she said it. D. Herford says, and Shamia don't F with Portia. And she don't. She don't. But, I don't know. I'm torn between what Shamia's purpose was with Portia this whole time. Portia tore Shamia's ass up today. She did, but Shamia, she lost her positioning. She should have come back and said, with that whole scene for this is part 2, because we really done with part 1, y'all. There wasn't really much going on season reunion part 1. But in part 2, Shamia did not come back and question or check Portia. When she checked Phaedra, she said, Phaedra was like, you and I had a conversation. I thought we were over this about Phaedra saying that, she slept with Candy and Todd or whatever, that Shamia slept with Candy and Todd. She tried to brush it under the rug and act like it didn't bother her. And she was like, yeah, we talked about it. It's okay. But, you never really apologized really for saying that or whatever. So you said that to Phaedra. And Phaedra ended up apologizing, saying, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that or whatever. But she wants to say to Portia, why didn't you defend me in that moment? You should have said that. Because you said something about it in the beginning. You were like, Portia, I don't like the fact that you didn't defend me, right? I don't feel like you defend me as much as I defend you in these types of situations. Why didn't you say anything when Phaedra was saying this? You didn't negate it. But when people come to me talking about you, I defend you. Which also, Shamia, I find it really hard to believe that. I do. Because it was very easy for you to go to these women that you barely knew and complain about Portia to them. When you should have just went to Portia and told her the truth. You can't keep going behind her back and saying stuff to other people and not thinking that they're not going to go back and tell her. And eventually, if you hear the same story over and over and over again, Portia eventually is going to believe it. Now, Portia, as Shamia's friend, the same way that people came to Shamia talking about you and she came and talked to you about it, it seems like Portia absorbs the information when people come and talk shit about her. I mean, tell her that Shamia is talking shit about her, but she don't go back and talk to Shamia about it. She don't give Shamia the benefit of the doubt. She ends up ignoring Shamia and kind of isolating herself, isolating Shamia. Like she ices her out. That's not being a good friend. Not to me. Brittany Janae says nobody cares about penny loafers and that loose booty hoe. He don't care about her ass either. He just putting her in the limelight, thinking that's getting under Mel's skin, and Mel don't give two shits about her. And honestly, and I'm gonna say this, but this ain't about Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. But I got to get my thoughts out while I'm thinking about it. I am so tired of some other content creators, or let me not say that because I haven't really seen a lot of it in my personal. But I here's what I would like to see with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I just want people to leave Mel's name out of it. If you're going to review the show as it is. I don't want to see none of the cast members saying her name. She's not on the show anymore. She ain't checking for the show. She went live basically saying she don't want to be mentioned by way of this show. She's done with it. Don't send her nothing about this show. It is what it is. She's done with it. So let her be done with it. And honestly, I want to watch the show because I want to see them really tell their own stories. Now you don't have Melody to hide behind. Now you don't have Mel to bully. So I want Miss Nell to see how you wanted to go and flip-flop and be friends with everybody because you wanted to play Switzerland and you wanted to get to know everybody for yourself. Now you see how they treating you. You on an island by yourself. And all of y'all wanted Melody to be gone so bad. But no, they didn't. They never wanted Melody to be gone. Because for her to be gone, that prevents them from being able to talk about her. Because I'm sure she made sure that in her contract or, whatever, her separation of sorts, that she told them, don't you utter my name. Not one time. And I don't blame her. D says so as long as Mel's getting her producer credit, she's the winner. I don't think she's doing that. She getting that anymore. Because I should have screenshot it. Somebody was on a live and asked her, "Are you still executive producer?" And she said the person's name and said blase 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 no. But I don't know. Maybe she's still getting some type of credit. But she said to somebody that she's no longer executive producer. She may have done something, gotten a payout to be like, I don't want to be associated with this at all. Don't even show any film with me. I want it to be as if I was never on this show. Don't talk about me. Don't show me. If you know, well, you haven't watched it, but in the first episode, they kind of did a lot of clips based on the other couples, but they made sure she wasn't nowhere in the clips and nobody's talking about her. So I don't know. K-Dior says, I hate that Phaedra was correct in that argument because Shamia denied she apologized. Yeah, I think Shamia lies. She got a little lying problem. So, yeah, Shamia, you just need to be honest. That's what it is. I feel like you've been manipulated so long by Portia that you resent her. You secretly resent your own best friend. And that's really messed up. You are not having conversations with her and you're mad at her because you are upset that you feel like you can't talk to her. But you haven't even tried. Like, that's what I don't get. You keep on saying, oh, yeah, we talked about it and okay, cool. But you're not cool with it. You're not. You want Portia to apologize to you. Be honest about it. D. Herford says the same reason she didn't defend Portia when Carmen said Portia always has her legs in the air. Well, I feel like Shamia did that because Portia has done so much by way of not defending her that was her get back. But this little get back tit for tat stuff is silly. If y'all are friends, just be honest with each other. Period. And Shamia, I know that when Portia and Candy weren't getting along, I know you were playing the fiddle between the two of them. I know you were. Because you friends with Candy, and I'm sure you agree with stuff that Candy said, or you didn't defend Portia if Candy was talking shit about her. You didn't. So stop. Both of y'all doing too much. That's what I think. I'm so happy Shamia and Portia's friendship is over. I don't ever have to hear about Portia being a bad friend again. Child, somebody else gonna say it. D. Herford says they wanted Mel gone. She gone. Right. There you go. She gone. So they need to just leave her on up out of it. Leave her out of it. Braun Sugar says the fact he's over there broke but still concerned about getting under somebody's skin is diabolical. Yeah, listen. When you don't wear socks with your some type of shield around your feet and loafers, as my friend said about his loafers earlier, you liable to do anything. Okay. Martell and coleslaw is something else. He talking about he paying for her to go to nursing school. He's just paying for her to be able to pay for him. That's what it is. He's trying to create another melody, and that ain't it. It's just not it, and she never will be. So whatever. Um, Whatever they doing, I hope it worked for them. Brittany Janae says, friend Mel said in another content creator chat, the cast or production can't say her name or use her likeness. Boom. Good for her. Let them have their storylines on their own. That's what they need to do. I hope she made them hang themselves to dry. That's what I hope. I hope she has an ironclad document where they can't say her name, can't say nothing about her, do nothing where it comes to her. Good. And that's she probably forfeited any monies or anything she could get from this show just for them to not be able to say her name. And I love that for her. I do. Thank you for letting me know, Britt. D. Herford says Shamia is the manipulator, not saying that Portia has never done that. Shamia is a snake and always had it out for Portia. I don't know if she always had it out for her necessarily, D, but I don't think that Shamia has been a good friend. Um, I just really feel like Shamia has harbored a lot. I think that I really think and something tells me that Shamia got back around Portia in the stage of her life when she was with Cordell, when she was with Cordell Stewart, and she was coming on this show. I think that was when Shamia and her kind of reconnected. I think that she did that in an effort to be in the limelight with Portia because Shamia has such a thirst for fame and admiration. Like she wants to be seen so bad. Like that's why she has this over the top personality where she's that girl in the room. Oh, thank you so much, Brittany Janae. She's that girl in the room that does team too much. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much, Britt. I truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so, so much. But yeah, I think that Shamia does too much, and she thinks she's more talented than she really is. She just wants to be seen real, real bad, real, real bad. And with that being said, I think that's her connection to Portia. Portia is seen in a room. She's naturally funny. Portia's able to skate by with a lot of things, which is, annoying at times. And I know that probably bothers Shamia too, that Portia doesn't reciprocate a lot of the things that she feels that she gives to the relationship. But what I like to tell people as a Cancer, actually a lot of my good friends told me this weekend, they were like, you do so much for us, but you don't ever let us do anything for you. And it really kind of brought me to tears. Like they did something so nice for me at my birthday party that I was not expecting. And they were like, you pour into everybody around you. You do all these things and you're so stubborn. You don't want us to help you. You don't want us to be there for you or whatever, but you always there for everybody else. You always show up. So we are going to force you into accepting us showing up for you. I don't really see, I think that Shamia is kind of like the me in the situation. But for me, I don't look for accolades along with the things that I do. I do the things that I do because it's from the kindness of my heart. And it actually makes me uncomfortable when people do a lot of things for me or whatever. But I'm starting to learn to accept it because who am I to push away God's blessings, So with that being said, Shamia does things for Portia, hoping that she can be at an extra level in Portia's life, where Portia's going to look at her like, oh, this is my best friend. I'm going to do anything for her because she does it for me and this, that, and the third. Portia don't look at her like that. I think that Shamea is closer to Portia than Portia is to her. And Shamea is having trouble accepting that. You can't keep expecting something out of a person that they are not really interested in giving. It is what it is. Portia wants somebody, and it's just clear. Portia wants people around her that are yes people. She doesn't like when somebody disagrees with her. You getting cut off. Portia don't like for somebody to tell her that she's wrong. It is what it is. And either you get with her program or you gonna get lost or be gone. That's what I think. So that's my 2 cents on the situation. But again, thank you so much, Britt. I really, really appreciate your donation. If anybody else wants to feel free to donate to the birthday fund, please go right on ahead and do that. I certainly appreciate it. D. Herfer says Shamea is the manipulator. Not saying that Portia has never done that. Oh, we read that one. Putting gas. K. Dior says putting gas in her car. That's how he's paying for her schooling. Child. Not putting gas in her car, child. Because where's he getting the money from? That's a true deal. K. Dior. That is super true. Where is he getting the money from? These Love and Marriage Huntsville checks ain't gonna add up to too much too long. Lady B says LAMH Hoodville, no more black excellence. No, it ain't never been excellent, child. Unfortunately, it's sad. D. Herfer says they still gonna lie, and will. Oh, there's another don't. Thank you so much, Lady B. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank y'all so much. I truly appreciate y'all. But yeah, Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. Mm. This season about to be crazy. I'm really totally interested in just seeing them live their own lives. That's what I want them to do. I'm trying to figure out whether I want the review to be pre-recorded or if I'm gonna go live. I owe y'all that. I owe y'all a live for that. But I don't know, y'all. I'm excited to see them talk their own shit. But this thing with Portia and Shamea, it's really gonna make me uncomfortable next week when we have to go into talking about their mothers. Um, Bringing the moms into the situation, this whole situation with the daycare, where I think loosely this was the story. Portia's mother had a daycare. Something happened to a child at the daycare where they were sued, but I think Portia's mom won the case or something like that. Um, and Portia's name was on that daycare or something, and the insurance was sued. And so something happened, something was wonky with that. But the mom ended up losing, she ended up losing the daycare. So with her losing the daycare, Shamea's mother bought the daycare. And I think, I don't know why, somehow I feel like Shamea's mom and Portia's mom were best friends. I don't know if Miss Diane necessarily went to I don't know if Miss Diane necessarily went to Portia Shamea's mom for help to pay for the daycare, right? To get her out of the dumps with it, because I think she was in the rears for the mortgage on it or something. I'm not sure, but in any event, she lost it to foreclosure. And instead of Shamea's mom buying it from her outright, she waited until it went into foreclosure and bought it. So I don't really know how to feel about that. Why, as my friend, why am I going to pay you full price for something that you didn't pay for? Like, I know you haven't been paying on it. But then as a friend, it's like, okay, if you have the money, help your friend out and at least just pay for it for what it's worth so that she can get her money back. I don't know, but that's where it's kind of iffy. The mom is mad because she waited until the property went into foreclosure and then she went and bought it outright. And opened her own daycare in the space. Shamia's mom did that to Portia's mother. So the fact that they were still friends, were able to be friends after that, um, is really interesting. D. Herfer says, I think this Portia Shamia goes back to childhood. Shamia uses Portia to get in certain rooms. She's a hanger on. I agree. Now, I agree with that, D. I can see that 1,000%. I can certainly see that. I think Shamia does use Portia because Portia has a really big personality. So Shamia, I told you, Shamia wants to be seen. She wants to be that girl. She does have a big personality too. But she uses Portia because Portia has the looks, the body, and all that stuff. Not to say there's anything. Shamia's a bad chick too. She looks good too. But I think that deep down within her, she thinks that Portia is the better of the two. And I think that she has a low self-esteem where it comes to when she's around Portia. She's in silent competition with her, just like she is with Drew. Lady B says Shamia is just letting go of the show, making her look like seconds. Yeah. And I think so too. I think Shamia is tired of being labeled as Portia's lackey. So she's trying to do all these things to stand out. And it's just making her look worse, honestly. D says, happy birthday, Shay. Thank you so much, D. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. D says, like what? What have we seen Shamia do for Portia? I'm pretty sure that she's done a lot of things that we just haven't seen on the show. Shamia was a friend for a long time. Hell, they're lying about her introducing her to Simon. So that might have been her meal ticket, Portia's meal ticket. She feels like she did something introducing him to her. We don't know what Shamia may have done behind the scenes. Shamia may need to start talking about it, but she might not talk about it because she's going to feel like, oh, well, everybody's going to think I'm saying this just because I'm mad at Portia. And the reality is, just say, I'm tired of this, that, and the third with Portia because I've done this, that, and the third, and she don't acknowledge it. Just tell the truth. That's what I think. These little blue lemon pieces, I don't like little things in my stuff. Bronze Sugar says, not willing to accept nice things from your village as a trauma response. Really? Huh. Tell me more. What trauma is that? You know what I think it is, honestly? You might be slightly right where it comes to me. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because my mom is like that. Like my mom, but my mother will do things like she always does stuff for people. Like my mother does. She is like the person that's there for everybody, right? And I watched her do that all my life. But then she would complain when people wouldn't do it back for her. Like if she needed something, she felt like people should respond a certain way, and she would get mad. But then she would say, "I do it out of the kindness of my heart," and but nobody does this, and I always looked at it like I never wanted to be like that. Like I wanted to be like, if I do it, I do it, and that's that, you know. But when I need help, I don't tell people. I try to deal with it by myself, and then I just pop back out when everything's fine, and so I can be there for everybody else. You know what, Bronze Sugar, I need to really understand why I'm like that. But I did. Like a lot of my friends kind of gathered me this weekend. They were like, let us be there for you. We love you. Like you are always there for us. Let us be there for you. So I let my guard down this weekend, and I let them do it. It was tearing me up inside, but I was like, okay, all right, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I was like, don't make me cry in front of all these people, y'all. But you on to something, Bronze Sugar. Lady B says, you seem more like a friend instead of a content creator. Who, me? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be, y'all. I try to be. I just be trying to be myself, y'all. That's all. That's all I know how to do. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Tina King says, Ready to Love Philadelphia is coming back next month. Ooh. August 1st, 2025, and watch King's Court. I will be doing that. Okay, I love me some Ready to Love. I will definitely review that. Lady B says Portia mom is a freeloader. I agree. I agree with that. I feel like Miss Diane is going to use her daughter and anybody else around her to get what she wants. I think that Miss Diane lives vicariously through Portia. I think all Portia's life, her family has built her up as this beautiful girl to go out here and get what she want, use that big button of smile to get what she want from these dudes. And they wanted to marry her off to the highest bidder so that she can take care of the rest of the family. That's what I think. That's what I think. And Miss Diane too old to do it. Her big button to smile expired because she got too old. So now you using your daughter to do it. And that's just lame. It really is. So at the end of the day, Portia, I think Portia has a lot of traumas that she hasn't dealt with. I think Portia has daddy issues. I think Portia's jealous of her little sister because her little sister got to grow up in her dad's house and her dad had a two-parent household. I think Portia's upset because her mother and father weren't married and, they didn't stay together for her. I don't know what happened with the stepmama over there, if they made differences in Portia and her brother and sister that was by her daddy and the stepmama. I don't know. I don't know. I think she had to deal with a lot in her childhood that she just hasn't been willing to be honest about by going to the lady. I think that Portia is delusional. I do. But I think that she really has some things that she needs to heal from. But I agree, Lady B. I think Portia's mom is definitely a freeloader. D. Herfer says Shamia is beautiful. Yeah, she definitely is. That's why I don't understand why she presents herself as somebody that feels inadequate whenever she's around Portia. That's what I think. And she's created that for her, that energy for herself. I don't even think that Portia is not even giving off I'm better than you. You know? I think she just genuinely wants to have a good time with her friend. She don't want to be called out on shit, but she genuinely wants to just be her friend. That's it. Lee is in the building. What's up, Lee? She says, hey, Shay and chat. Miss Diane would have to kiss my ass if you thought I was supposed to make a bad financial decision and give you thousands more when I don't have to. Right. That's what I'm saying. And I got a family to feed too. Right. And you're opening. That's why I'm kind of torn between the two, because why would I pay you full price for the space, knowing that you haven't paid? When I can get the space cheaper. I mean, I simply can get it cheaper by waiting until you go into foreclosure. It's business 101, but when it's friends and emotions involved, it's just like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. I almost wish she hadn't even bought the space at all. Just let somebody else buy it. But I guess maybe she was like, listen, we want to expand. This is the best way for me to do it, and I can do it at a lower cost. It just sucks that her mom is holding her to this standard. So it's crazy. D. Herfer says Shamia didn't have to do any of the things she did, no alliances or anything. She needed to be herself. She put herself in Portia's shadow. She's competing against herself. I agree. The alliance thing with the newbies, with them keep on talking about, Shamia kept saying, oh yeah, we had an alliance with me, Britt, and Kelly. And, Portia was in on it too. We wanted Portia to be in on it too. Portia didn't need an alliance with y'all. She didn't need y'all. Y'all needed Portia more than she needed y'all, honestly, because people were anticipating Portia coming back. So why would she need to be in an alliance with y'all? And Portia was right. Alliances kill shows. So I don't think that she ever would have agreed to that. If she did, it was some Hollywood stuff like, yeah, oh, okay. Not like, oh, I'm really about to be in an alliance with you hoes. K-Dior says, Miss Diane has propped Portia up to marry for money and not love twice. Exactly. Period. She done got her to buy her a house and all this, that, and the third, when Portia really only kept that house because I think deep down inside, Portia knew that this wasn't going to happen with Simon, or she didn't plan to be with him forever. I believe Portia always wanted to be with Dennis. She used Simon to rub him in Dennis's face, and it didn't work out the way she thought it would. Dennis was like, I don't give a damn. I'm still gonna be out here hoeing around. I'm not gonna marry you. Yeah, we don't get along, and I'm not going to. Dennis is not going to cower to Portia, and I think she doesn't like that. And Dennis' mama is not going to let Portia take all their money. That's another thing. So Portia will have to sign a prenup if her and Dennis were to ever to move forward in any type of marriage of any sorts. And Dennis, he don't go along just to be along with Portia. And he don't give two shits. He like she'll get over it whenever they mad at each other or he do something she don't like. He be like, "Oh, she'll get over it. It is what it is." He don't let Portia punk him. And I think that's why she's so attracted to him. Child. But she always knows that she has a safety net with Dennis because Dennis is never going to let her struggle because she has his daughter. Braun Sugar says, "Oh, never mind. I had to put the glasses on." Oh, for what? About the when you said not wanting to accept things from your village as a trauma response? No, I agree. I still agree with you. I don't know. Lady B says, I remember looking back and feeling that I went through all my trauma by myself. Then I heard God say, no, I was with you. Amen to that. Amen to that, Lady B. I felt that one. I felt that. Yeah, a lot of the things that I go through, I deal with them silently. And then when I get through it, I thank God every single time. Every single time. Wow, that touched me. Lee said Portia kept that house as a fallback. Bingo, she definitely did because she didn't. Portia has a trauma. It's a trauma response from when her and Cordell Stewart got a divorce. She got absolutely nothing out of that. It was an ironclad prenup. Cordell wasn't going to marry her without a prenup. And she was young and her mother was dumb. All she saw was dollar signs with Cordell. She didn't even think about anything else. So she got the accolades of being married to a professional football ex-football player. He had money, and it is what it is. So she was like, I'm not going to be caught up like I was in this last marriage where I was asked out and I ain't had no house to live in when it was over. And I had to go back to my mama's house. So she bought that house as a safety net. And now, but the thing is, with this new house, she can't afford to finance this house in addition to having the other house because that house is clearly still in her name. Because I don't know if her mom refinanced it in her name or if Portia paid cash for this house and paid it off or what. I don't believe it's fully an asset at this point where it's paid off. So Portia doesn't have enough money to refinance the house that she's in her own name because of how much it cost. And at some point, she's going to have to do that in order to keep it because Simon is not going to pay that mortgage forever. He just simply isn't. And it honestly doesn't make sense for him to do that. But that's her trauma response by making sure that that was in their prenup for her to have that house because she didn't want to be asked out where she don't have nowhere to live or have to go back skipping back to her mama's house or aka her house and live there with her mama and her boyfriend. D Herfer says Portia has her own money, probably more than Dennis, but I agree they would need a prenup. We know Portia knows how to get a good prenup. I don't think she got more money than Dennis. That I don't believe. I believe Dennis has much more money than Portia. Dennis has a lot of businesses, and his businesses make a shit ton of money. He has those. He has his own liquor, his own alcohol. He has those hookah bars. He has those the hot dog restaurants. He has other like investments, and he's investing in people's music careers now. Drew isn't the only person that he's invested in their music career. And you can make a shit ton of money off of streams for music and all that good stuff. So I definitely believe that he has more money than Portia. However, both of them are well off, I believe, or not well off, but both of them have, a good financial standing. And I don't think that, unfortunately, I don't think Portia is really good with her money. So, because Cordell talked about that condo that he had to save her from, that she wasn't paying the bills like she's supposed to, and Portia was getting money from Simon, $30,000 a month, but she wasn't paying the mortgage. I would make sure that I had a roof over my daggone head. So I don't know. Braun Sugar says, no, I couldn't see your Cash App until I put the glasses on. Oh, okay. Yes, my Cash App, y'all, is $shayreneeonline. If you would like to donate, please feel free. I appreciate it. Look, I'm accepting all of my blessings, okay? But yes, it's $shayreneeonline. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to me, okay? K Dior says Cordell had her locked out on the doorstep like Fred Flintstone. Not like Fred Flintstone, Fred. That is hilarious. Portia, so each Tim Dennis mentioned the amount of Portia until Dennis mentioned the amount of money he had, the wider she opened her legs. Not once he told her how much money he got, the wider she opened her legs. Portia saw how much money Dennis mentioned the amount of money he had. Got it. Child. Portia's something else. She is something else. D. Herford says, I bet that house paid off. Portia is pretty shrewd. I hope they sell the house and Portia gets something new. I don't think it's paid off because the house was in jeopardy of going into foreclosure because she hadn't paid the mortgage in like 4 months or something like that. And I think your house goes into foreclosure automatically after. I know in Maryland, if you haven't paid your mortgage in over 180 days or something, like not 180 days, I think 90 days. If you haven't paid your mortgage in 90 days, they can submit the paperwork. But then in 180 days, it goes into automatic foreclosure. So, yeah, I don't know if it's the same way in Georgia, but it's definitely not paid off because the mortgage company was sending letters to the house, and she was saying, Portia said she didn't never get the letters because it wasn't addressed to her. She didn't pay the mortgage. But I'm like, girl, it'll be addressed to you when you got to get out. Lee says Portia need to sell that house with Sondermind, with Sondermind as she won't be able to keep up with that house with her lifestyle because if it ever go in foreclosure, then she loses any benefit to it, right? Yeah, this is true. And then I just don't want to be set the hell outside. Like I'm not trying to come home and see my shit outside one day. That's crazy. Mm-mm. D. Herfer says that money wasn't for the mortgage. Simon needed to pay it. Yeah, he did need to pay it, but child, listen, I would have at least held it in escrow or something, or like, put it to the side just in case he come out of the woodwork like, oh, I ain't gonna pay. I feel like he's not gonna pay just to make her lose that house. He would rather lose money and lose that house just so he don't have to see her in it. I think he's diabolical enough to do something like that. But I agree, that's her money, the 30,000 he agreed to pay her for her not working. And then he agreed to have her go back on the show. I just think that Simon wants a lot of attention. He is a total biatch to me. Lee says, agree. Dennis has multiple locations that are successful, and he has consistent money in his hands in multiple businesses. Portia dumbass threw her little sheets and weave business to the side. Yeah, listen, and that hair. Now, let me tell y'all something. The hair weave business is actually very, very lucrative. It really is. Like you can make a lot of money from that, but because you can get bundles of hair for a very low cost. So all that money that they charging y'all for this hair, they're getting bundles. And if you go on Alibaba, that's where a lot of people source a lot of this stuff. I'm not even lying to y'all. You go on Alibaba, those bundles are costing these people like $10 and $15 a bundle, but then they're selling it to you for $180 a bundle. They're getting a huge come up off of this stuff, a huge come up. So, I don't know why she doesn't really invest more into her hair business. Now, sheets, I don't really know what the initial cost for that is, but that's a good business as well. Everybody needs sheets, and everybody gonna make their bed up, child. It's always good to invest in something that everybody is going to use. K Dior says, yeah, I can't imagine Portia would have had a baby with Dennis if he didn't have more money than her. Right. She definitely going, one thing Portia gonna do is secure the bag, okay? D Herford says her mother's house, not the house with that BAN Simon. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know if is it paid off? Did she pay it off and then put it in her mom's name? But they were saying, there was reporting saying that Portia couldn't refinance the new house in her name because she still has a mortgage on the old house, on that house that her mom lives in. That's what people were saying, because she tried to refinance the house with her and Simon, because after 3 years or something, or after a certain amount of time, I think 18 months, she has to either buy him out or refinance the house in her name. That's what it is. But who knows? Braun Sugar says Dennis says she wants another baby. Portia needs to let Dennis. He wants another baby. Portia needs to let Dennis use that egg she got frozen. Child. And who are you gonna put it in? Portia or another chick? Gonna be on some Shamia stuff? Girl, I'm working and typing in here. I met Simon. Didn't even realize it typed something else. Oh no. I get what you're saying, Lee. Braun Sugar says Dennis said he wants another baby. Portia needs to unfreeze that last egg and give that man another child. He seems to be a good dad. Yeah, but you know what? I wouldn't be in the business of just having babies with people. You know what I mean? And Portia seems like she's kind of settled into her lifestyle. And pregnancy in your 40s, child, that ain't no joke. Okay? That ain't no joke. That is a lot. And then, she already got a kid. She has a very busy lifestyle. So to have a kid now, amongst the lifestyle that she has, if she was like a real stay-at-home mom and didn't have all this other stuff going on, I say go for it. Do it. But I don't even think she wants to have any more children. So that's a tussle right then and there, but for the two of them. Portia never got rid of Go Naked or Pampered by Portia. She only left the Housewives and the radio station. There's nothing dumb about Portia. No, she didn't leave those businesses, but I didn't really see her like promoting them like she used to in the past. But now that she's back on the show, she did do that segment talking about Pamper by Portia and her hairline, that scene actually that Londi was in that meeting. So I think that Portia is smart business wise. She gonna do what she need to do to keep a coin flowing. But I don't know what she's spending her money on. That I don't know. Lady B says Portia said each time Dennis mentioned the amount of money he had, she said the wider her legs open. Oh, I should have proofread. No, I get it. I got you. I remember that scene too. So yeah, she definitely was with him because he had some money. D. Herford says Brown Sugar, when a viewer asked a question about Dennis and Portia have a second child, she danced around the answer. Yeah, I don't think Portia wants to have any more children, honestly. Brown Sugar says, put it in Portia. Oh, the baby. Underground Railroad. Not Underground Railroad. She ain't never gonna lay that down. But y'all, that's really all. I think the only thing we hadn't talked about is Angela and this stalker Marcus guy. Listen, Angela, at this point, you don't really have solid proof that Phaedra was the one that did this. Phaedra's denying it. They are saying that you did it. Just call this man the stalker that he is and let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. It's no need. Who cares? Charles ain't even over there. He half-ass claiming you, half-ass treating you like crap. Like, girl, and I try to, listen, because my husband is not, well, he is affectionate enough for me. He's learned over time. And my husband would never embarrass me on national TV like that. Like, he's a jokester, but he's not like, if y'all watch my Divorced Sisters reviews, you'll see how me and my husband are. My husband is nothing like a Charles Oakley, but I can identify with that dry humor, that I just want to kind of push your buttons type of humor a little bit, but I love you type of stuff. I can get that. But Charles, I don't know. It's something with Angela. Like, she must get on his nerves, get under his skin, child. I don't know. I don't know. But some of the stuff that he do is just like, it's very questionable. But I wouldn't even be going this far to incriminate Phaedra. And Phaedra, if you did do this, this is very stupid of you, because you already got kicked off the show one time for doing some bullshit. Why are you going to do some more shit? Braun Sugar says, have y'all ever seen Portia dad? He looks like Dennis. Wow. That explains a lot if he does. That's some daddy issues if for your ass, okay? Child, I do think that Portia has some unresolved resentment or issues where it comes to her father and her upbringing. But her father was a handsome man. Dennis is kind of, you know what? Dennis is not ugly. I just want him to lose that gut. I'm tired of that belly, child. But Lee says she said on the show she stopped focusing on her businesses when she got married to Simon, which was facts. She stopped promoting her businesses like that when she thought she had a free meal ticket. Right? Yeah, I do remember her saying that. And Simon didn't want her to work, so that's why he's giving her that $30,000 a month. K Dior says Andy brought up Cynthia's criticism of Kenya. Yes, that too. Cynthia, listen, let me say this about Cynthia and Kenya. I don't agree with how Kenya has kind of iced out Cynthia. Kenya, you were wrong for doing those pictures and all that stuff. You were dead wrong. You've even apologized for it and said that you shouldn't have done it. So why are you penalizing Cynthia because she didn't agree with you right away? I think that's crazy. But then on the flip side, Cynthia, you drop you jump at the chance to always be on everybody's side but your friend. Like, and Kenya had your back on the girls trip thing and all of that, like when you were on there acting crazy, and so on and so forth. You're always questioning Kenya and defending everybody else. So I think this is just like a trigger for her. That's what I think. And I don't know what you've done to try to get back around Kenya or to apologize to her or show her that you still care about her. But I think that Cynthia is right. You shouldn't have to be, so much, a lack of a better word, a lapdog, or agree with everything your friend says. Because if your friend is wrong, your friend is wrong. But by the same token, Cynthia, I feel like there's a certain way that you must have presented this where which is why Kenya is not talking to you. And have you even tried to reach out to Kenya? Because I think Kenya was mad at Candy for a little bit because Candy said that she shouldn't have did that. But they are still talking. So I don't know. But again, um, oh shoot, I forgot to tell this girl about this sub situation. Hold on, y'all. Let me get off here so I can do this. But yeah, y'all. That Cynthia situation. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. I just think they need to talk it out. I think it's wrong for Kenya to ice her out like this, though. That's your friend, and you kind of doing the same thing that Nene did to Cynthia. When you don't agree, now we ain't friends no more. I don't think that Cynthia should have to agree with everything that you do. Braun Sugar says, "Do y'all think Angela and Drew cooked the lot that lie up?" Uh, I I feel like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Can I be honest with y'all? I feel like Angela is a part of this lie in some sort of way. I think that she's mad that Phaedra acts very familiar with her husband. So I feel like she used this as a ploy to try to figure out what Phaedra knows. I don't think that Angela wholeheartedly trusts Phaedra. I don't. I mean, trust Charles. I don't. I think that Phaedra was hanging out with Charles when Charles was in certain groups with women. When he was talking, when him and Sheree were close at some point, I think that was the case. I think that Phaedra knows more than what she's saying, and she likes to toy with Angela saying little slick shit in her confessionals. That's what I think. So I think that Angela wanted to come after Phaedra because she's mad that Phaedra kept on saying little slick shit about Charles. So she like, okay, you want to talk about my husband? Let me cook up this whole little cockamamie story to get you to actually have to be honest about what was said. What's going on? What's Charles out here doing? That's what I think. But child, who freaking knows? K Dior says, and then what about Portia saying she was helping Kenya get the info together to expose Britt? Andy breezed past that. Yeah, like Andy did not go back into a lot of things. He let Portia and he let Portia and Phaedra get away with shit. He did. Cause he didn't press enough for me where it came to Phaedra and this whole situation with her brother. Like all of a sudden he was calling the brother. She got to call her brother on the phone and this, that, and the third. Child, I don't know. I just think the whole situation is just lame and stupid. That's what I think. Let me see, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. Lee says Cynthia got on her goddamn nerves, playing dumb like you don't know why Kenya cut you off. Cynthia got on my goddamn nerves, playing dumb like you don't know why Kenya cut you off. You literally went around doing interviews and mentioning how wrong Kenya is. You didn't need to overdo it. Yeah, she did. I think that you know what it is with Cynthia. I think that it's okay for you to say that you don't agree with something that your friend is doing. But Cynthia doubles down on stuff more than she really needs to. That's just what it is. And sorry, not sorry. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Somebody needs a sub for their class tomorrow. Um, D. Herfer says, I disagree. Cynthia did the right thing with Kenya. She was doing her job, going on interviews and answering questions. Yeah, but listen, I'm at this point, I've said what I needed to say. Stop asking me about my friend. I would just be like, listen, I said what I needed to say on the situation. At this point, I really don't want to answer any more questions where it comes to Kenya. And that's what I would do. Because at the end of the day, you know how your friend is. You know what I'm saying? Kenya don't never want to accept responsibility for shit that she do. And neither does Portia. But hell, they all sit up there and pacify her. So don't do it for one and you ain't doing it for the other. Why are we all acting like Kenya is not batshit crazy? Kenya shouldn't have never did them. That was too much. She absolutely did entirely too much. And that was crazy to me. She retaliates in a way that is just totally overboard. D. Herfer says Angela doesn't trust Charles. He's a cheater. I wouldn't trust Charles' ass either. And I don't think Angela trusts Charles either. I agree. D. Herfer says, I can't lie. Andy was playing favorites. He definitely was. Thank you, D. That's big of you. I appreciate that. Because he definitely was playing favorites where it came to Phaedra and Portia. Lee says, agree. Kenya is stupid for that. Was stupid for that. Yeah, she was. Like, I would have never done it. That's too much. You act like you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Somebody saying that they're going to pull a pow pow out on you. That is crazy work. And I would have been going to production. Like, y'all need to do something about this. Like, I'm not going to be filming with this girl, but also you can't take it upon yourself to be doing some weirdness like what you did. That was team too much. I'm not going to go get all these posters blown up. And then especially I'm not doing this at my place of business. That was just really unprofessional. Lady B says, I gotta go place an order with you. I'm bloated. Girl, come on, get your order. I think it's still a discount code in there too. Let me see. I think I got a discount code, y'all. Oh, it might have expired already. Let me see. Let me see. I think it automatically comes up. I can't remember what I named it. Oh, it expired. Oh, but if you put in code Shay Renee, that's active. You get 20% off your entire order. So just put Shay space Renee. So like, capital S, capital R, Shay Renee, and you get 20% off your entire order. Yes, ma'am. So anybody that ever wants to use that code never expires. Lee says, I wouldn't trust, and that's on healisticthings.com. So www.healisticthings.com. I'm going to change my intro to put it in there. shayrenee.net now only has my workout class offerings, but healisticthings.com, I switched to the Shopify platform just because it's much more user-friendly for customers. And it just looks more aesthetically pleasing. It's much more user-friendly. Lee says, I wouldn't trust Frederick Douglass as far as I could throw. Not Frederick Douglass, Lee. Child, listen, if Angela like it, I love it, child. But comment down below, y'all. Do y'all think that Portia and Shamia's friendship is over? I think it just needs to go on and end, because at this point, Shamia is not going to get what she wants out of Portia, and Portia just simply don't trust Shamia at this. Like, it is what it is. And her mama is in her ear. I don't really think that Portia's mother wants her to be friends with Shamia. I think Portia's mother is jealous of Shamia's mother. And I feel like in some ways Portia is a little bit jealous of Shamia and her lifestyle, but not to the point where she want to take her life or, whatever. I think she was happy and jealous of her at the same time. Happy for her and jealous of her at the same time. I do. And she's, because she wants that life. I don't know. And I don't think that Portia extends the same grace to Shamia that she extends to some of her other friends like Phaedra, that set her up and got her in the middle of a whole bunch of bullshit. You are quick to forgive and be freaking frack and hang out with her, but you're not quick to extend the same courtesy to Shamia by having conversations with her about things that you just feel are just kind of iffy that she does. But that's it, y'all. I ain't got no more. D. Herfer says, I used to think Portia was jealous, but after the season, I don't think so. Yeah, I can see how people can feel that way too. I just think that Portia, she just wants a certain lifestyle. And that's just, she wanted whoever that can provide it for her, child. And it is what it is. But y'all, thank you so much for my birthday wishes. Like I said, in members only, I will be doing, like, I'll show y'all pictures of like my friends and all the stuff that we did. Some footage from the birthday party itself, my jersey, my customized jersey I had made. It says Shay Renee 40 on the back. My party was blue and yellow. We had a good old time. Lots of line dancing, lots of food, lots of good things. So y'all, I done climbed up on the 4th floor as of yesterday, 7/20. July 20th is my birthday. So thank y'all so much for the birthday wishes. I truly, truly appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody and your kind donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Again, I will be going live and I will be giving out my monthly gifts for my members only. So stay tuned for that. We'll be doing that sometime tomorrow night for sure. And I'll have my son pick the 2 names so I can be ready. And that's it, y'all. And also look out for Love and Marriage Huntsville review. I'll probably get that out at some point tomorrow as well. And then me and my husband will hop on and do Divorced Sisters at some point before the next episode come out. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with anybody else that's watching this show with us too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.